Hi, this is Mrs. Duzick, and I am here to share with you some digital resources that I have found useful in my classroom. Starting on just the main Google page, I prefer using Google as my browser. The first one I want to share with you is flocabulary.com. It's like vocabulary, but with an FL for flocabulary. And it is affiliated with Nearpod. So if you like Nearpod, it is a great extension offer that they have. So on the main page, one of the great things I like, it's very easy to use. It's user-friendly. You can search by whatever topic you want, or they also have the pre-built-in topics like language arts, science, math, and then it's broken down within math. Do you want multiplication, addition, subtraction, all that kind of stuff. So let's say I wanted to do something on adjectives. I could just type in adjectives, see what pops up, and you'll see here all the selections they have, starting with a lesson for adjectives, grades 1 through 5, then it goes on even deeper to comparative superlative, parts of speech, and so on, some similar things like adverbs. So the reason I really like Flocabulary, and I'm going to click on that first adjectives lessons, is because it takes learning with a musical twist. So let me just show you, for example, what the adjectives video is like.
We talking about size, like tiny, opinion, like wise, feeling, like happy, sad, or otherwise. Age, like antique, color, like brown. Adjectives are words that describe that. Talking about size, like tiny.
So it's a great video. All the videos are like 2-3 minutes long, and they all have that rap kind of R&B sound, and the kids love it, get a kick out of it. It's kind of a 21st century version of Schoolhouse Rock, and it's great. Another positive they have is, so I clicked on this adjectives lesson. Not only do they have the video, but you can have vocabulary cards that go along with it. And it's nice because let's say you wanted to have them tell you what a noun is. Okay, they can either write with the word and show you an example. They can start typing, a noun is a person, place, or thing. Or, I'm going to save that. Let's say you have some students that struggle with typing full sentences, or maybe it's a younger class. You can click on draw, and they can draw what a noun is. So maybe, for example, they would draw an apple, because an apple is a thing, and that would be a noun. So they could do something like that, which is very cool. So that way there's different ways for kids to show what they know. There is a game after where they do like a matching game with the vocabulary. This break it down is where they kind of really break it down into even more intense, and they have to go back to the video and find almost like text evidence, but find video evidence to prove their point. They have a read and respond. There's a quiz where it'll ask you what is an adjective and has all these things. My favorite part is that it's all connected to Google Classroom, so you can assign this via Google Classroom. And you can keep track of it. So like, for example, let's see, where's my classroom? I have my roster synced and my past assignments. It shows I assigned something on conjunctions, and then I can view the lesson. I can see which student watched the video and who did the vocabulary cards, and then I can grade their cards. I can see actually what they did. So you can see all these kids watched the video and they did their cards, whereas this one watched the video, she didn't do the cards. This one didn't watch it or do the cards. So I can always talk to them with that. It's great. The negatives for Flocabulary, is it's not a free site. So thankfully my school district does pay for it. So that is one negative. The second negative that I have is that, like, for example, I'm just gonna pick a math lesson, and let's say I wanted to do multiplication. There's all these options, but they're basically the same one, and it covers grades 3 through 5. So of course, in 3rd grade, when you're first introducing multiplication, you're going to want these videos. But as you move on to 4th or 5th, you're still going to want videos, but there's really not too much selection. Same thing like when you get into the language arts, like again, the one, let's see, reading and writing, about long and short vowels, again, it's just for K through 2. Fairy Tales covers grades K through 5. So I wish that there was more content for the different grade levels. And that is my review of Flocabulary. Okay, the next one I want to share with you is readworks.com. .org, readworks.org. It is a great site, and it is free. So I'm going to go ahead and log in so I can show you my account. So what ReadWorks is they have a huge database of all these different comprehension articles. So you can just go to content, you can see what they have. And let's say you're doing, talking about democracy and presidents, and you maybe wanted to learn, have your students focus more on that. So you can just type in presidents and click enter, and then it'll show you all the different topics that they have on presidents. Then you can also filter it down to what grade you want. So I'm a third grade teacher. I would click on third grade, and it would show me that they have all these articles that are available for third grade. It not only shows you the grade, it shows you the Lexile reading level, how many words are in it, what genre it is, and if or not there are questions for it. So let's just click on this first one here, John Adams, to show you what it looks like. A big plus that I like for this site is it has a text there, but also if you have students that are struggling to read, you can hit the play button,
U.S. President,
and all
John Adams,
of the stories can be read to you.
John Adams.
So that is awesome. You can make the speed faster or slower if they're listening to it. Then there are questions that you can assign them. There's vocabulary questions that have to do with the text. What do they know about things like that? And then there's questions that have to do with the text. This is what I use it for, is the comprehension side of it. According to the text, who was John Adams vice president for? They have 4 options. Some of the questions are just ABC. Some they have to write something. I don't know if this one has anything with write. Oh, it does here. So number 8, according to the text, how did John Adams maintain peace during the French Revolution and European wars? They would have to write an answer. You can assign it so it's just the ABC, option choices as opposed to not having the writing. It's up to you. They have a full question set, which this would be a full, or you can assign it as a shortened question set, where it's just the ABC options, or I'm sorry, the express question set. So you would just have the multiple choice with none of the writing options. Another thing here on the questions, again, every one of them has the speaker sound.
According to the text, who was John Adams?
So the questions can be read to them. I really like that aspect of it. The only negative thing, I can't really think of anything negative except just that there aren't articles available for every topic you can think of, or maybe it's just very limited. If you're looking for multiple topics on George Washington per se, there might only be like 2 or 3 articles. Another positive for it is linked to Google Classroom. So I have my classroom right here linked to it, and I can assign kids directly into Google Classroom from readworks.org. Okay, so readworks.org is another one that I love. All right, moving on to the third site, Blooket. Blooket.com. It's BLOOKET.com, and I do have an account. One of the positives is it is free. So I have a teacher account. And for those of you who are familiar with Kahoot, this is just like Kahoot, except the kids will go crazier. So once you're logged in and you have an account, you can discover things. I like to use it for like review on multiplication or adjectives or whatever it is we want to do. So let's just say I'm going to type in, let's see what people have created for multiplication. And you'll see that there are all these different quizzes available. Some have like 200 questions, it's pretty crazy. I like to give my students something like about 36 questions, 20 questions, something like that. Otherwise, it's just too much. You can preview. So like this one here, I'll click on this one because it has 15 questions. And this will show me, okay, that's question 1 is 1 times 1. Question 2 is 1 times 2. So this one for me would be pretty basic for the kids. But for first starting out to learn about multiplication, hey, that might be a good starting point. Also, you'll see here, each question, they have 20 seconds to answer. That is important, as I've learned, because sometimes people will set it to 60 seconds and that's like a really long time and the kids kind of get bored with it. So how though that Blooket is different than Kahoot is that as you're playing the game, there's a game on the inside. So let's say I wanted to assign them this one. I would host the game. The students would then, I get to pick the game. So I'm just going to say there's all these games within the game. So I'm going to say Candy Quest because why not? It's Halloween type of year. So I'm going to click Candy Quest. Oh, over here, I clicked it. Now I'm going to click Host Game. Just like Kahoot, there will be a pin for them to connect to. So they would just go to play.blooket.com. They log in with this pin and then their names would show up and they start playing. So let me just close out of that because that's kind of loud right now. So, excuse me. Book It is really fun. I will warn you though, the negative part about it is it gets really loud. The kids, they go crazy during this because they're not only answering the questions that you want them to answer, but they have that side game going on where they're, it's kind of Minecrafty or like a kitchen game where they're building a pizza or something, and it does get really loud. One of the other positives about it though is that you as a teacher don't have to do anything. You just start the game, hit play, and then they go for like 7 minutes, and you can set the timer as long as you like. So it gives you a nice 7 minutes if you need to answer some emails or call a parent or take something down off your walls. It gives you a nice, 7 minutes of the kids being occupied, but they're doing something educational, and you are able to get some things done. So I do like that. The only other negative besides it being loud is that the database, you have to realize that whatever you're looking for, people have made these. So they might not necessarily have appropriate questions. Some of the questions might be really too hard. Some of the questions might just be really random, so I would really recommend previewing all the questions before you assign it to your kids. All right, so that is site number 3. The fourth site that I wanted to share with you and review is, let's see, where is it on here? It is Storyline Online, and that is a .net. It's storylineonline.net. This is a great site for read alouds because they have wonderful stories, really quality literature, but the cool part is it's all read by actors or famous people. So obviously they have it, some Halloween-y type themed books right now up in the front here. So let's just say, for example, I Need My Monster. If you click on it to watch it, you decide how you want to watch it. We will watch it with SchoolTube, so it's a little safer. And this one is read by Rita Moreno. So it's pretty cool, and it shows you the grade level for the interests, the runtime, all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of neat that they get to see actors, especially now when they see someone that they know, they get real excited about it. The negatives about it that I've seen is it's not connected to Google Classroom. So it's hard to just like assign it to them. What I have to do is if I wanted them to read, a bad case of stripes, I'd have to click on it. Then I would have to take the link up here, highlight the link, and then attach it to, Google Classroom or put it in SafeShare or something. So that way the students are able to watch it. So the fact it's not directly linked to Google Classroom is a little bit of a bummer. The other negative that I don't like is that I've been using this site for a while now, and I got to tell you, there's not a whole lot of books. There's maybe close to 100, and they do add books occasionally, but there's not a whole lot. It's, the kind of the same books over and over again, but they do have really good books. And like, I just realized this right here, look, they have some in Spanish. So that is great. And it'll tell you a little preview here, who's reading all of these. Jennifer Gardner reads some. Melissa Gilbert, Ty Burrell, Elijah Wood, John Lithgow. So the kids really seem to like it. It's a great little tool to have sometimes too, if maybe you have a sub and you wanted them to be able to, read something because you're not sure what they're going to read. You can give them the link and say, hey, just go ahead and play this story. So that is my 4th review. My 5th and last review is Slides Mania. Now this is a professional tool that I use. It's slidesmania.com, and it's really great because it has just such a plethora of Google template slides, also PowerPoint slides that are really spice up your presentations. They're not these boring presentations. So I always just select all templates, and there's always that ad. So I guess that would be a negative, but it doesn't play or anything, so that's fine. And they have all these fun different templates here that you can look at. I mean, 1,000 things that you can choose from. Look, they have can you guess the character game? That would be so fun if you had like US presidents or something and they had to try to, pick that. I mean, this to show you there's 21 different pages of different things you can go to. And these are all for Google Slides or PowerPoint slides. And it just really helps to make some fun backgrounds so your kids aren't looking at boring, black and white slides with Arial font. This really makes it a lot more fun and can really make the lesson better. So like, let's say, for example, you wanted to do a Christmas themed lesson, okay? You would click on this. It gives you a quick little preview to show you what the lesson would look like, all the different slides. And then you just scroll down. You can scroll through to the different sites and it'll show you a little snippet of some of the slides that they offer, the slides that are in this kit. So you can see they're all kind of different and they have fun things. So let's say you like this and you're like, yeah, I want to use this one. You would either download it in PowerPoint if that's what you use, or Google Slides. I use Google, so I would say open in Google Slides. It's automatically linked to your account, which is another huge positive. The first time you use it, obviously you're going to have to link your account, and then they show it to you again and you say, yep, that's the one I want. Use this template. And then it directly is attached to your drive. It'll open up and then you can see it's right there. Happy Holidays, Slides Mania. You can start editing it however you want, and it'll show you here on the side as soon as it opens up all the different slides it has available. This one looks like it has, let's see, waiting for it to finish loading. It has, boy, it's still going. About 23 different slides in this particular set. So they give you a lot of options. You can edit each and every slide, which is great. Fun things. All this stuff is editable. So like on this page, I can click on it and I can get rid of the do you know. If I wanted to say, like make this a writing prompt or something, I could say, tell us about your favorite present or something. And it's all editable when it's right there. So it's really great to use. Again, it's slidesmania.com, and it is a very useful site that I like. Can't really think of any negatives about it. The only thing negative, I guess, is if you don't have Google or PowerPoint, it might be hard for you to use, but I don't know who doesn't have those sites these days. And of course, they don't have all the templates in the world, but they sure do have a whole bunch. So it's a great site and I highly recommend it. So those are my